The jury in the above entitled action find the defendant, Daniel Joseph Serafini, guilty of a violation of California Penal Code Section 187A, murder, a felony as charged in count 1 of the third amended information. We further find the degree of murder to be that of murder in the first degree.
After just over 2 days of deliberations, jurors reach a verdict in the high-profile trial of Daniel Serafini, finding the former MLB player guilty of 3 of the 4 counts against him. This verdict follows several weeks of trial in court and comes just over 4 years after the incident at the center of the case. That is the shooting of Serafini's in-laws in their Lake Tahoe home. Thanks for joining us here for Fox 40 News at 4. I'm Riley Carroll. Jurors finding Serafini guilty of killing his father-in-law, Robert Spoor, as well as the attempted murder of his mother-in-law, Wendy Wood. He was also found guilty of 1 count of burglary and not guilty of that 4th count of child endangerment. Serafini is scheduled to be sentenced in just over a month from now on August 18th. Fox 40's Josie Hart has been covering this trial since day 1. She joins us now live from Auburn with more on the verdict and also sharing with us how people are reacting there. Hi, Josie.
Hey there, Riley. To say that this entire trial process has been tense would be an understatement, but moments really got tense today once that verdict came down. Now, Erin Spoor was in there, and she's been here for the last few days of that deliberation from the jury. Once that judge said guilty, she actually exchanged glances with Daniel, both of them shaking their head in disbelief, and a lot of family members in there crying. It was a jam-packed courtroom. Now, let's just rehash some of the charges again. He was facing first-degree murder with special allegations of use of a firearm and lying in wait, attempted murder, first-degree burglary, and child endangerment. He was found guilty of all charges except child endangerment. Now, that charge was brought forth by the district attorney's office because his children were inside the victim's home at the time the suspect was said to already be lying in wait inside. Again, he was found guilty on all charges except child endangerment, and it was up to the jury to determine if there was enough evidence to prove that Serafini was the man behind the gun, and today they decided there was. And one of the jurors spoke with us on camera, and she said it all came down to the video, that their line of thinking was actually, if not Daniel Serafini, then who else could have done this? Adrienne Spoor, who is the daughter of the victims, was also here to listen to the verdict. This is what she had to say.
It's been 4 years since my mom and dad were shot, and it's been 4 years of just hell. And the Placer County District Attorney's Office and Sheriff's Office never gave up, and today finally justice was served.
Daniel Serafini will be held at no bail pending sentencing on Monday, August 18th at 1:30. The district attorney's office says he is facing life without parole, but we did manage to speak with a few more people out here. We'll have more details throughout our evening shows. For now, live in Auburn, covering local news that matters, Josie Hart, Fox 40 News.
Josie, thank you. I want to ask you a quick question. It's interesting that the jurors were saying that a lot of their decision came down to that piece of video that they saw of now, allegedly Daniel Serafini walking. You spoke with a criminal defense attorney last week who specifically cited that video as a piece of evidence that might dissuade the jury from convicting him because Erin Spoor had testified that she didn't believe that was him. So is there any surprise as far as not only how fast this deliberation came down, but also, some legal experts were really doubting that this would be the verdict?
Well, the legal expert that we did speak with say, yes, it was to be expected that this would go on a lot longer. And I can tell you, just having sat through that courtroom myself every day for the last 2 months of this trial, they were paying attention. Every single member of that jury was taking notes, asking questions, making sure that they went through every single detail. And when we spoke to actually juror number 3 today, that's exactly what she said, is that they went through everything. And when they were reviewing the video, she says it came down to trying to make a match to everything from his stride, which was mentioned by the prosecutor, Richard Miller. And also, I believe she said it was down to the shoes, the clothing, the height, everything. To them, this was a match, and to them, there was no question that there was anybody else who could have been captured on that video.
All right, Josie Hart live for us in Auburn after following this trial from the beginning. Josie, thank you. And we're going to take a look back at what's happened over the past 4+ years. So this began back on June 5th of 2021. That's when Spoor and Wood were shot by an intruder inside their home. Spoor was killed and Wood was badly injured. Wood recovered fully from her injuries, but a year later committed suicide. Then in October of 2023, Serafini, along with Samantha Scott, were arrested in Nevada and charged in this shooting. Scott, an accomplice and family friend, pleaded guilty back in February of this year to being an accessory after the fact. She also testified during Serafini's trial, which began back in May and ended with, of course, today's verdict. And the trial, now the verdict, you can head to our website, fox40.com, or you can download our free Fox 40 News app.